what clicked that though? How'd you even get introduced to what a buyer's agent is? Because a lot of people don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's right. So I've got a very good friend of mine. He's a buyer's agent, and he actually assisted me with my first property purchase. His name's Arjun, Big Arj.
You know, that's episode 1.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's what's up there. So
how did you hear about him?
well, me and him were mates, and he was on a similar journey to me. So I actually met Arjun at a Learn to Trade kind of seminar. So so he was looking at Forex the same time I was. And we kind of just bumped heads, added each other on Facebook, and then we just hit it off from there, really. And he started out as a buyer's agent a couple years ago. And yeah, we've just been mates ever since. So I reached out to him when I was looking for my first investment, and he helped me out with that. And yeah, and then I just felt that, look, this is a service that I can provide to people and my close family around me. Help them with property, because the common consensus was just invest in Liverpool, your backyard, get a flat, buy this, buy that. But then no one really understood that Australia's a massive place. You can buy commercial properties, you can develop properties, you can flip properties, you can renovate and draw out equity. There's so many strategies in place that the common layman and my immediate family wasn't privy to. I wanted to be that source of education, be that source of information, so that people around me could, you know, do what they want to do through property options.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. So while we're, when did you buy that property, that first one?
That one, I believe it's 2018. I bought that one.
Yeah, where'd you buy it?
So that was in Brisbane. So that's around North Queensland. North of Brisbane, sorry, not North Queensland.
Yeah.
So we picked that one up for about $420.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, and and the price now is
What do you reckon?
Way above that. I reckon $650 and counting right now.
Mate, that's good stuff.
Yeah, so like understanding like just the basic fundamentals of property supply and demand, vacancy rates, you know, infrastructure spending, and like how to buy, just really streamline that process for me and just help me acquire that property.
So that kind of inspired you then to start your own business and do that for other people?
Correct.
It's awesome, man. Do you have another property?
Look, I don't.
I guess that's hard because once you start your own business, you've kind of got to be in business for a little bit longer to buy the next property, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it was literally tossing up between going again or starting Window Property Group. Yeah. And it was Window Property Group 10 times out of 10. So
yeah, of course, man.
So that's where I'm at with my journey.
Similar situation to Tracy, right? Like she could have went on another journey and took 6 months out of her life to buy that next property.
Yeah.
But what if I know she's got other goals and she wants to get and do her own career and maybe start a new job. So I think that is pretty important. I mean, if you're in a position to buy right now, for sure, go and do it. But if you're unsure about what you want to do in life and you start acquiring all this debt and properties, like it's a lot of responsibility. I mean, I did the same thing. I was in a job that I hated. I bought 2 properties that, you know, I could afford at the time. Yeah. And then they were bad properties. I bought them when I was 18, 19. Yeah. I didn't have anyone mentoring me, helping me buy property, but I was in a position to buy. Yeah. So, yeah, and at the time I could afford them. They were both on interest-only loans, but when they rolled off interest-only to principal and interest, I was making the same income I was, and these interest rates were on 4% and 5%.
There you go.
And they were on principal and interest over a shorter loan term. So I was paying out $11.50 a week, and rental income was offsetting that, but if for whatever reason one of them went vacant or there was a repair, like that's a lot of money coming out of my account, right? And I couldn't even refinance because I bought units and they had dropped in value. So I bought in Campbelltown off the plan when I was 18. Yeah. That one did pretty well, but it's because that was one of the first ones to go up there in that area in Campbelltown. Yeah. So that before I had even settled on the property, it went up 80,000.
Oh, look at that. Awesome.
But it hasn't gone up since then. It was 8 years ago. Yeah. Because that particular market has just been oversupplied with units, which is pretty easy to do when you buy units, right?
Exactly right.
And it was and I think after that, I went on a massive journey of just educating myself, listening to podcasts about property. And yeah, it was pretty funny because I kept hearing a saying, some of the podcast hosts and other buyers agents that were saying, like, you know, the worst thing that could happen to you as a first time investor is you do well. Because I bought at a time, it was just before the market was on a run. Yeah. And I had saw this equity for doing nothing as a 19-year-old. I thought, oh, you know, I know what I'm doing here. I'm gonna do this again. I'm the best, you know. Didn't get any advice, just did it all for myself. And 2 years after that, I just rinse and repeat. I got the equity out, bought a second property, and it was an apartment in Warwick Farm, which is very, very close to Liverpool. Yeah. And I bought that with Pepper money, and they're very good for borrowing capacity, right? And at the time, I could service with them, but these were when rates were sitting at 4 and 5%. Even though during from that time I bought that last property up until now, rates were continuously going down, but. You think the lender passed on those discounts to me, mate?
No chance.